Ladies and gentlemen, inside you, right now, there are two versions of yourself fighting for control. One is strong, fearless, unstoppable, the version that will take you to your dreams. The other is weak, fragile, full of excuses, the version that wants you to stay small. And every decision you make feeds one and kills the other. The truth is, your weak self has already stolen too much of your life. Today is the day you stop negotiating with it. Today is the day you kill that weak version of yourself before it kills your destiny. Every single one of us has two versions living inside. One is strong, resilient, unbreakable. The version that dreams without limits and dares without hesitation. The other is weak, insecure, fragile. The version that whispers excuses, that clings to comfort, that keeps you chained to the ground while your destiny is waiting in the sky. And today, I am asking you to make a choice, because you cannot rise while you keep entertaining the weak version of yourself. You have to kill it. You have to bury. You have to strip away everything that keeps you from becoming who you were meant to be. The weak version of you is clever. It shows up disguised as safety. It says, don't take that risk. What if you fail? It says, don't speak up. People might judge you. It says, don't dream too big. You'll only be disappointed. It says things that sound logical, but in reality, they are chains. Invisible chains that look like protection, but are nothing more than prisons. And if you keep listening, one day you will wake up realizing you lived small, you loved small, you tried small, and you became small. Think about it. Every time you hesitated to take action, every time you let fear dictate your choices, every time you allowed doubt to silence your voice, that was not strength. That was the weak version winning. And if you are honest, that weak version has taken more from your life than any failure ever could. Failure teaches. Failure builds resilience. But weakness only robs. It robs you of time, of confidence, of opportunity, of your power. That is why it cannot be managed. It cannot be negotiated with. It cannot be tolerated. It must be destroyed, and destroying it is not comfortable. It requires you to look in the mirror and admit, yes, I have been small. Yes, I have played safe. Yes, I have played safe. Yes, I have let myself down. But then you make a vow. From this day forward, you will no longer be the victim of your weaker self. You will no longer feed it with excuses. You will no longer let it whisper lies in your head. You will starve it until it dies. You see, life does not reward the weaker version of you. The world does not open its doors to hesitation. It does not respect those who constantly second-guess themselves. The world bends only for those who have the audacity to demand more, to walk into the room with unapologetic confidence, to take up space like they belong there. And guess what? You do belong there. But your weaker self has convinced you otherwise. It tells you, stay quiet, don't shine too bright, don't dream too loud. But that is a lie, because if you dim your light to make others comfortable, you are betraying your purpose. No one remembers those who played it safe. They remember those who risked it all. They who broke the mold, who refused to settle. If you want a life that matters, you cannot build it by nurturing your weak self. You can only build it by killing it. So how do you do that? You choose discomfort every single day. You choose discipline over laziness. You choose action over hesitation. You choose courage over fear. You wake up and do the thing that scares you. You take the risk that twists your stomach. You step into the room that intimidates you, and every time you do, you bury the weak version deeper, until one day it is gone. But listen carefully. The weak version of you never truly disappears. It waits. It lurks. It looks for moments of exhaustion, heartbreak, failure, rejection. Moments when you are vulnerable, and in those moments it will try to come back. That is when you remind yourself, You have come too far to let it win. That strength is a daily choice, not a one-time event. Strength is not inherited. It is built. Built in the battlefield of your own decisions. Every early morning, every uncomfortable conversation, every time you bet on yourself when no one else does, that is you killing the weak version. That is you proving, not to the world, but to yourself, that you will not settle for average. And yes, people will doubt you. They will question you. They will call you arrogant. Let them talk. Their voices are the soundtrack of mediocrity. You were never meant to live there. You were meant to break boundaries, to exceed expectations, to redefine what is possible for your life. And that only happens when you silence the voice that says you can't and amplify the one that screams you can. Think about the future version of you, standing tall, confident, powerful, living a life most people only dream about. Now ask yourself, which version got you there? The strong one or the weak one? The answer is obvious, which means the only thing standing between you and that future is the version of yourself you choose every single day. So stop choosing weakness. Stop choosing fear. Stop choosing fear. Stop choosing hesitation. Because your future is not built in one grand moment. It is built in small, daily decisions. Every choice is a vote. So what are you voting for? Regret or growth? The decision is yours. So today I challenge you. Make the weak version of yourself uncomfortable. Put yourself on the stage, in the gym, in the arena. And when that weak voice says, you can't handle this, smile and say, watch me. That is how you kill it. Not by talking, not by planning, but by acting. Action is the weapon that destroys weakness. You were not born to be fragile. You were not born to live invisible. You were born to be powerful, to be loud, to be loud, to be unstoppable. So stop negotiating with weakness. Kill it with discipline. Kill it with action. Kill it with courage. And when you do, you will discover a version of yourself you never knew existed. Stronger, bolder, fearless, limitless.